as the Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation welcomes the carrier. This ahead of the launch of a new non-stop air service between Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago. The service is scheduled to begin on March 9, 2026. The 4 times weekly service will operate between Grantley Adams Airport in Barbados and Piarco. According to the ministry, the new route is expected to strengthen regional air connectivity and improve direct access between Trinidad and Tobago and one of the Caribbean's major aviation hubs. Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, Eli Zakur, described the introduction of the service as an important milestone in strengthening regional linkages, noting its potential to support tourism, trade, and cultural exchange. He also said the service is expected to benefit both business and leisure travel. The ministry said it will continue to work with Inter-Caribbean Airways and key stakeholders to facilitate the successful introduction of the service and to further enhance Trinidad and Tobago's regional connectivity. In some sport now, it was a losing start for the Trinidad and Tobago men's under-17 football team, who went down in the first of 2 friendlies against Peru's under-17 by 6 goals to 0. The Randolph boys coach outfit struggled against their South American components, who had 6 different goal scorers at the Peru Federation Training Center on Wednesday. The match, which began at 10 a.m. in Lima, is part of TNT's preparation for their CONCACAF Under-17 World Cup qualifiers, set to begin on February 3rd against Barbados at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. TNT and Peru will meet again in their second friendly match on Friday. And that's what's making the news at this time. But we have waiting for us Vimala Bakaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Vimala.
Good morning, Carrie. How are you this morning?
I am doing well this morning. And what a time to be alive when social media could make you almost a billionaire.
Tell me how.
Well, you know this influencer, he's on TikTok, Instagram, Kabi Lame is a Nigerian guy who just shows his displeasure about people complicating what's supposed to be simple tasks, and he doesn't say a word. The guy that does this. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Well, he just signed.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
Cabinet has approved the establishment of the regulatory framework for the registration and management of classic, antique and vintage vehicles in Trinidad and Tobago.
Music.
Better days are coming. Better days are coming.
Culture.
We are now in a state where I can now proudly announce that our gas production will increase by a significant amount given all the various projects that are now expected to come online.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
These are not just stories, they are the echoes of who we are, passed down in voices, in silence, and in memory. From the heart of the Caribbean, where history, mystery, and magic meet, this is Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Your weekly journey into the legends, stories, and whispers of our islands. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM. Across the Caribbean, stories of the supernatural have been passed down from generation to generation. One of the most well-known is the legend of the Duppy. A Duppy is believed to be the spirit of the dead, roaming the earth at night, unseen but never forgotten. Elders say there are ways to protect your home. One of the oldest traditions is simple. Sprinkle salt or rice grains around your doors and windows. Why? Because a Duppy, according to folklore, cannot enter until it counts every grain. And as the night wears on, the task becomes impossible. By the time the last grain is counted, the sun has risen, and the spirit must return to the other world. Whether taken as belief, tradition, or storytelling, the legend of the Duppy remains a powerful part of Caribbean culture, reminding us of the past, our ancestors, and the mysteries we still cannot explain. Another tale from our islands, reminding us that the past, the spirits, and the stories of our ancestors are never far away. You've been listening to Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Only on Talk City 91.1 FM. Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. the conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
The largest Pan Festival is back! On Sunday, 1st February, we head to the Queen's Park Savannah for Pan on the Greens Music Festival 2026. It's our big line! It's our big line! We on the Greens! And we live in from 1 p.m. till... We on the Greens! Over 18 soca superstars on the big stage. And it can't be our best line without big DJs. It's the biggest line in Trinidad and Tobago. Sort out your coolers. Which crew you're liming with? Who you're liming with? It's a big line! Get your tickets now at Watford Cafe or online at iLadyTickets.com. Looking for a crew package? Send us an email. WeOnTheGreens@gmail.com or WhatsApp 325-7177. Pan on the Greens 2026 is a big live. Brought to you by NCC and BH Entertainment. We lime in.
Pan on the road. Pan on the road. Voices on the air. Talk City 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the ground report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Desha. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report, the Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report, the Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
I hear my name call.
We must make the government work for the people rather than have the people work to keep a government in place.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Listen. Let's take in some God. I love this tune. Let's go spell it sweet.
Water you turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you. Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's
blessing. Good morning to all Maxi taxi drivers. Taxi drivers.
Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other.
That what we talking about?
God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God.
Ha!
Our God. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God.
Bang, 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 bang.
Oh Lord.
If you believe your God is greater, your God is stronger, He's the only one. Take it in. Let's all press before we go to battle. Early this morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Water you turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you. Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Director Snipes, give me a signal there. 91.1 FM, a stinger. Yeah, let me hear a stinger there, boy. 91.1 FM. Talk City, 91.1 FM. I wait. Go ahead.
And more informed from 6 to 9 a.m. It's the Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith on Talk City 91.1.
Into the dark.
So you know we are there, let them know. Organize a short one for we like.
Out of the ashes we rise.
You look on too.
There's no
Talk City 91.1 FM.
none like you.
We go request a short, nice one. Let me start blessing good morning to all Maxi taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, truckers. Good morning to each and every one of you. Yes, to the driving public. Good morning to you. I want to say thanks so much. Again, for letting a driver and the next driver and the next driver and all the drivers know again where they can get the ground report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Our God is great.
For those of you, all the passengers that are locked on, let me know, especially the ones on the bus shoot. Let me know if they pick up all in Arima, drop all the crep, and then pick back all the right in crep, the same maxi for the next money. Yeah? Let me know. Yeah, watch them in the mirror or passengers. That's on the bus shoot. If you're in a maxi right now, that is do that. People that driver in the mirror there and shake your head and just give me a call. Let me get the number on the low where we putting him up. How we go do that? Can't do that. Let me get the number from my man. 366-3053. 366-3053. Send my WhatsApp call or a message. Give me the Maxine, take a quick picture on the low. Let me get the number plate of that Maxine. But, driver, now I want you to watch back all of them in your mirror. All my drivers. If anybody coming in a maxi or your taxi, your PH vehicle, down to the bus drivers and the plane, they're telling all they know drive, not this morning, you know. switch that dial. I want to hear some music, you know. I can understand. I don't want to hear that dog pitbull fella this morning too early for that, you know, drive. Yes, drive, yes. Watch them in the mirror if anybody tell you that. Especially if you're in the bus shoot. Use a bus shoot one. And you pick them up in a Rima. Put them out in QF. You only get permission to stop them short to pay the extra money. If they play the thing, you switch your dial from this station, 91.1 FM. And this program, the biggest program in Trinidad and Tobago, on a morning, between the hours of 6 and 9 a.m. When you come into radio, there is no other. So don't even bother. Drivers, give me a horn. Truckers, give me a horn.
Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other.
Nice. I want to start the program very early with you all. Yeah. I want to hear what's on your front burner. Well, yes, we'll go through all the various headliners. But we know it's Izuso, the failure of that bill. So they hear what Roger Alexander they say, well, you know, they'll come with something else. Many people are happy that the bill did not pass, especially after the city opened murder. That's my opinion. That's not the opinion of Talk City. 91.1 FM, that's the opinion of the pitbull of radio, Andy Williams, in which I saw the video, and I really didn't see the police life in any danger. What I see is, as they pull up, is bullet. What I see is a man hand outside the vehicle. What I see, he take 2 shots and realize it's serious. The hand drop out, come down, and the hand go back up to show, well, oh God, I give up, I surrender. And it says, brap, 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 until the body was motionless. That's what I see. What happened before, in my book, have nothing to do with the end results of that. That's a success force up to what I see. Don't tell me what happened before. He shoot ball behind only before. But then he surrender. Only can be judge and juror. Yeah, only police. Only can be judge and juror at all. Look at how much all you done lock on the only, oh Lord. I can't tell everybody in the morning this morning, you know. So I will start off the morning. I would say all the mornings in between. Troy Smith, do that Mohan, all of you, ball rope. Matilda Rhodes, good morning. And Maria Amen, good morning.
Then what can stand against? Stand against.
Marilyn Sicharan, a pleasant good morning to you. Naz Ali and Miss Ali, good morning. Nathaniel, Dave Miraj, good morning. Budram. Good morning, Krishna. A pleasant good morning to you, Wendy and John. Good morning. Dress School, good morning, Primraj. Davey, all Davies, a pleasant good morning. Freddie Brown, good morning. Diane, good morning. Mary, a pleasant good morning to you. Ryan Ali, John, good morning. The O'Brady Bunch, good morning to you. Michael Scotland, a pleasant good morning. Ro Ramnarayan, a pleasant good morning. Mr. Ramnarayan out there in Canada, a pleasant good morning to you. Akash Adesh Ramnarayan, good morning.
Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any.
Annie Abraham, a pleasant good morning to you.
Our God is healer.
Nancy Basdio, good morning. Joyce Ram, good morning. Don Harilal, a pleasant good morning to you. Bernadette Matu, good morning. Rupert Lal, a pleasant good morning to you. I said I wasn't doing this at the kind of late. Angela, good morning. Angela Singh, a pleasant good morning to you. That what we're talking about. Gemma Sipasad, good morning. Sandra Benjamin, a pleasant good morning to you. Karen, how are we going? A pleasant good morning to you. Balroop, where we going? You're still in Trinidad? Cyril, good morning. Winston McKenzie, a pleasant good morning to you. Ashmir, good morning. What I'm calling out to those of you that lock on to us on Talk City, that's all who lock on to us on the social media platforms. So when you leave your maxis, your taxis, your PH vehicles, you're not in a vehicle that providing you with a number one program, you just go on your phone. At Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. And you can also get us on Real Media TT on Facebook, YouTube. Yes, Real Media TT on Facebook and on YouTube. You just think out the Ground Report to the Ground Report on YouTube. Product Transformation on YouTube. Not forgetting 648 Television, Irvin and his wife. A pleasant good morning to you all. Andrea Alfonso, good morning. Eleanor, good morning. Raul Posad, a pleasant good morning to you. Farmer, Ken Farmer, good morning.
Into the darkness
you know what I want? Director, could you remember where you stop at with the voice notes that we did not get to play? Let's start it off with those voice notes that we did not get to play, because we don't want people to feel that we are like that now. So if you can...
From 8:33 a.m. yesterday.
Okay then, well, Director, pleasant good morning to you, and go ahead with those voice notes that was not played yesterday, please God. While we start the biggest program, the Ground Report.
Good morning, Ground Report. People are saying, some people say, no, the people didn't vote because the Prime Minister insults all of them. Hello. When the PNM was in power and UNC in opposition, they faced all sorts of ridicule from the present, what she is, at the top, when she was in charge of the Senate, right? And the previous one, they faced all kind of insults. But when the bills were benefiting the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, they voted. So this thing where some people calling is because she insult them and think that's why they vote. The UNC is not like that. Goodbye.
Andy William, good morning, Lennox, Mikey, and everyone. Andy, when people calling and asking, saying that the government had the money and the gas and the retail, what does she do? Call the PNM ministers asking where all the money gone. When they hear minister 500 million contracts and all that to people and families, ask them where the money is. I mean, the people in Trinidad are stupid. You need money to run a country. The PNM steal all the money, and yet they don't want to support the independents, want to support the government. So you see what's going on there? The Prime Minister need to get rid of all of them, find a way to get rid of the president, impeach she, let she get out of there because she's a damn PNM. Only nominating PNM people to support she called. Come on, all them fake people there. And he said it. I watched it yesterday. I couldn't believe that one of them and see the good in it. All see the bad. And the PNM people for you need to get rid of all of them, Andy. And ask them where all the money gone. Lock them up. Lock up the PNM people. Later, Andy.
Good morning to the Ground Report, Nigel Snipe, Michael Kerr, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith. I want to say there will be no changes in this country unless we start going at the people who squander and plunge this country into what it is today. If the UNC don't see it fit to bring up these corruption charges against this PNM, we will be just spinning top in mud and paying more taxes in this country more than ever. Let these business people who own the government this big set of money come up and pass their money out. Let them start to deal with this massive corruption. Just listen to Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts is a man is aware of all this mismanagement and squander money. I need to hear more about that because I want to say this. There will never be a PNM in Trinidad and Tobago again. That is the end of the PNM. So I want you callers to always remember that and be mindful. Right? This country is bound to call a local election right now. Because unless some other new people pop up, then they give the country an opportunity to make a choice. But making a choice to go back to your PNM is only political madness and political suicide. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Bless.
And good morning again. Andy, Lennox, I mean, let's ask you something. Is it possible that these independents and them get some kind of threat by some hierarchies to vote against this thing? Is it as a possibility that they have been threatened? I mean, I just saying out of the box, and they have to go along with it. I don't know. I just see it. It's just something you see things in movies, you know. So the way you know if it's a movie we watching, because them can't be thinking under your own conscience and everybody voting across the board like that. Not even one of them saying, "Well, go against it." You understand? So they all of them have the same page. I think they should move them from behind the opposition bench, you know, and put them in a separate section, you know, because it seems like them getting influence, you know. All right, blessings, everyone.
That's it for voice notes.
Nice. Thank you so much, Director Snipes. Well, I'm going to just start with the early ones that I have here that people sent early. And then we will get on to all those headliners and them, man. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
Yeah, Andy, good morning, good morning. I sent you 2 videos there. You could take a listen to it and, well, I don't know if you might be able to play it, but I still, let me share it to you so that you could listen and you could tell me if I'm making any sense there. Bye.
Nice, I'll go check it out. But please, if you only know about it, I can't play it just when you because I had to scan it, right? But if you say you don't know if I'll be able to play it, it means it might be some Emin and Memim and Kimbim and oh God. And then only go on to get all the partner in trouble. So I still have to scan it. But when only get clean videos, send clean thing for me. If only know it are the thing there, just, you know, just, I'll just listen. Don't tell me to play it. Right, man. Next, let me continue those voice notes, man. But thanks so much for sending that video. As I get a chance, I will take a listen to it, ma'am. Oh, boy.
This is Morgan Freeman, and you are locked on and listening to the Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM with Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, and Director Snipes.
What, boy? Morgan Freeman too, boy? Where the hell is this? Morgan Freeman? The good, you know. Trinidadian, the good, the good. Oh, boy. I rather he. This one I rather this one here. I rather he. He's our boss. This one here.
This is Donald J. Trump, and you're listening to the #1 morning talk show in TNT, The Ground Report, on Talk City 91.1 FM radio with my good friend Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, and Director Snipes. Good morning, friends. This is Donald J. Trump, and you are listening to the #1 talk show in TNT, The Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM with my good friend Andy, the Pitbull Williams, Lennox, the Big Word Man, and Program Director Snipes. Join them from Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Bye, guys.
Daisy, man, I like it.
Ground Report, good morning, Mr. Stipe, good morning to all of TNT. Blessed good morning. And I have a front burner. After that failed bill the Sozo bill,
Yeah.
right? I have been reading some of the comments on the commentary, and it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. And so disgusting sometimes to see how some citizens of this country really thinks. And one of it that really disturbed me is that despite those hot zones, and I can understand that the residents cannot come out and openly speak their mind concerning what's going on in the community, because remember, we at the outskirts don't really know, like for instance me, what it is to live in a hot spot. And one of the residents there said his child is a cricketer and he can't even come out to practice, at his school, and he can't even come out to play and to practice, which was very normal for at that time when I was growing up, right? And then you have another one, Andy, who is saying, all hail Miss Penny and the opposition and the senators for not passing this bill so that the government wouldn't keep killing our black boys. Andy, that statement is very disturbing. And it is the view because that person got 70 likes on that particular comment. And to see how people will think it is amazing, it is very unfortunate. But you know what these people don't realize, that our prime minister is a seasoned politician. And Mr. Fuad Khan had made a very valid point. Our PM has a backup plan. Don't feel that because that bill did not pass, that she is not going to bring law and order. Our prime minister is not a cut and string for backbone leader. That woman has calabash. She has a belly like calabash, and she has been it through. She has been dragged. She know how to handle critics. But I'm saying it is very unfortunate to see that, people will not want benefit for their country. They would prefer have all these excuses. Nothing wrong in disagreeing, but I mean to come and say that the government will continue killing our black boy, nah, that is totally disgusting.
Papa, so at least I'll hear how some people out there is think, eh? One, the sad incident that we all see. Yeah, I want something different. I want a different background for what it is I'm going to explain, especially after that lady, what it is she observed on social media. So you'll understand how Trinidadian, not the Tobagonians, eh? How they think. How dread the race and the politics is in Trinidad. The video that I saw, when the boy was putting his hand out in the car, the police and them as they pull up themselves say, freeze, put your head up, don't move. As they take come out the car was bullet. Was Kamala Prasad be said, so anybody in her government, they doing that? Do they approve of what it is they see there? How did her and her government killing out the black boys, we black people? When I look at the videos on them, all over social media, the same social media that them looking to get likes on, I see somebody by a shop, a black boy come and shoot a black boy. I see somebody riding a bike, a black boy come and shoot a black boy. I see somebody sit down by a bar, a car pull up, two black boy come and shoot the black boy. Most of the videos I seen online is black boy killing black boy.
Bang, bang, bang.
To you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, for those of you that are logged on to us online, I'm happy that that statement was raised by that godly blogger with that voice note that was sent to Talk City 91.1 FM and right in the studios of Real Media TT. Even when the PNM was in power, Dr. Rowley, Colin and Bert, all of them was in power. All the videos I, Pitbull, Andy Williams saw with my own two eyes was black boy killing black boy one another. I never see a UNC doing that. I barely see a Indian doing that. Most of the videos that I see online, it's not no political party, not the PNM, not the UNC. I see black man, black young fellas killing each other. Lennox Smith, a pleasant good morning to you. Already tell Mr. Snipes good morning already.
All right. I understand your passion, one, and the anger that obviously would be associated with the debacle in the parliament of the country by persons who are supposed to be outstanding citizens, because that is one of the criteria for becoming an independent senator, or a senator criteria that would be the onus on the president to so select 9 of them. And clearly, that is a betrayal of that principle, of that fundamental, that upright citizens would make decisions to continue in the what the police describe as hotspot communities, to continue the carnage and the mayhem and the dislocation and the murders, and they can go home and sit comfortably in their protected cocoons and believe that there is no repercussions for them. Well, I want to tell them they have analyzed the situation very poorly. And of course, one can speak of the poison tree and if they are the fruits of a poison tree, meaning that here it is, we have a PNM confessed and inserted president who have selected them, and as a consequence of that, the fruit which they represent of that poison tree means therefore that we will get this kind of response. And why am I saying that? I'm saying that simply because if the UNC and the coalition of interests had the opportunity to select those senators, I want you to search your conscience, whether you are PNM, whether you are nondescript, whether you are neutral, whether you have a particular political position or otherwise in the society. I want you to examine your conscience and then come up with what I consider to be the rhetorical answer, because it's a rhetorical question really. If the UNC and the coalition of interests had the opportunity to select independent senators, would the outcome of that vote be different? That is all I am asking the population today to examine and to draw a conclusion. I lay my case there because the answer to me is so damn obvious that it requires no general analysis or response in terms of it. It could be one response. If these senators were selected by a UNC coalition of interest imposed president, would the outcome be what it turned out to be? Go ahead, Andy.
The outcome would not have turned out what it turn out to be. That's why, again, while we are here as the fourth pillar of democracy in Trinidad and Tobago, again, I and the Pitbull Williams are advocating in the future that we change the requirements of picking a president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and they must not be selected by no political party, and that they should have nominations by the various political parties out there. Whether they say a party could nominate, if you're in opposition, you can nominate 5 people. If you're in government, well, you can nominate 10. All right, we could still get already edge. But the overall picking of those 5 and 10, 15 must come to a vote by the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Must be voted in, not selected.
And that obviously, Andy, is in the realm of constitutional reform and amendments and adjustments. But in the meantime, we have this situation. We have a critical situation in the country where crime, criminality, our young people are going astray in schools, outside of schools, and in whole communities such as Laventille, East Port of Spain, and of course, and surrounding communities. And we have an existential crime and criminality problem. Murders going out of hand. We have had, 3-4 SOEs in successive sessions, more than we would like it to be. We have a reputation in the world of being the 6th most violent country, and then of course we have per capita, these terrorists per capita in the Western Hemisphere. All of that we have. Plus, of course, advisories against Trinidad and Tobago in these metropolitan countries. Don't come to Trinidad to invest or otherwise. But if you do come to Laventille, etc. And these so-called well-to-do senators, independent, upright and sterling citizens, don't know that. We have to go for a break. And when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report.
If you are a migrant currently living in Trinidad and Tobago without legal immigration status, this message is for you. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has introduced a special registration process for migrants who have overstayed or entered the country illegally. The online registration process will begin from Monday 26th of January and end on Wednesday 25th of February 2026. All applicants are first required to register through the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. After completing the online registration, there will be a mandatory in-person processing and verification which begins at the end of February 2026. The start date for that phase will be announced through official government channels. The in-person registration will take place at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, Port of Spain, the Atto Bolden Stadium in Balmain, Couva, and the Larry Gomes Stadium in Malabar, Arima, as well as the Dwight York Stadium, Bacalet, Scarborough, Tobago. Applicants will undergo a comprehensive verification process, which will include vetting by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service involving fingerprinting and background checks. You will also be required to undergo basic medical screening. Upon completion of the registration process, successful applicants will be required to pay $700 for the migrant registration card. The ministry reminds undocumented migrants your participation in this exercise is essential, as failure to register during this window will result in deportation. This special registration process for migrants is your opportunity to be documented, protected, and allowed to work legally in Trinidad and Tobago for a defined period. For additional instructions, along with online application and required forms, visit the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. This message brought to you by the Ministry of Homeland Security and the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
The largest Pan Festival is back! On Sunday, 1st February, we head to the Queen's Park Savannah for Pan on the Greens Music Festival 2026. It's our big live! We on the greens, and we live in from 1 p.m. till. We on the greens. Over 18 soca superstars on the big stage. And it can't be a best line without big DJs. It's the biggest line in Trinidad and Tobago. Sort out your coolers. Which crew you're liming with? Who you're liming with? It's a big lime. Get your tickets now at Watford Cafe or online at islandetickets.com. Looking for a crew package? Send us an email. We on the greens at gmail.com or WhatsApp 325-7177. Pan on the Greens 2026 is a big lime. Brought to you by NCC and BH Entertainment. We lime in.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. New shows, new features, big giveaways. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
Carnival Stories. History in motion. Jab jab, fire, chains, and defiance.
Blackened skin, horned masks, chains and whips. The jab jab is not meant to be comfortable. Rooted in Emancipation era celebrations, jab jab portrays both the devil of folklore and the image once forced onto Africans by their oppressors. The meaning, however, was reclaimed. What was used to frighten became a symbol of power. What was meant to shame became identity. When the jab jab cracks his whip, he is not threatening the crowd. He is announcing freedom.
Carnival Stories. Mass with meaning. Carnival Stories on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Bring your team, bring your flags, bring your vibes. Next 99.1 FM is taking over the savannah. Hey, all ya, we back on the greens this year. Sunday, February 1st, in the heart of the capital, Queen's Park Savannah from 1 p.m. We are bringing the energy for Jam Iron on the greens. This one you don't want to miss, and it's all inclusive. Bring your crew, bring your flags, and bring your vibes. This a mood. Watch how we back on the people, them stage like it's encore. To secure your packages early, get yours today on islandetickets.com. Lock in your spot and lock in your team. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio. I will be staying up on the truck with the gallon up on the top plate.
Jam Iron on the Greens is powered by Nescafe, White Oak, Absolute, Orchard, Jameson Irish Whiskey, Maggie, Cafe Barista Iced Infused Coffee, Forest Park Punchin, Blue Waters, Stamina Energy, Jade Monkey Tobago, and Next 99.1 FM, a member of the TTT Limited Media Network.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Before the sun, before the road, the talk starts here. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
We are back. Time check. Yeah, it's 7 minutes to the hour, 7 o'clock, to 7 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM. And you're viewing us on all our social media platforms at Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. Not forgetting on the Real Media TT on Facebook, YouTube. Corridor Transformation. Simple. You can't get us one platform, look for us on the next. on the Ground Report on YouTube. Lennox Smith, the bill, people are still outraged about that bill. Many people for, many people against, but the real people also too, in its entirety, because it's hitting international news all over. That brutal murdering of that gentleman that was in that vehicle and the paralyzing of that wife. It's not looking good to the outside neither. And all the international prospects, and what I read up and listening to experts, and they're saying plain, die murder. I don't know, boy. I don't know.
And Andy, that is all the reason, or more reasons, why the independent senators ought to have acted responsibly and shouldn't see that incident as a motivator to act in a manner that is inimical to the interests of Trinidad and Tobago, by extension, and in particular those communities where the fomenting of those criminal elements, for want of a better term, resides. And of course, my pre-break analysis was merely to make this point. And I accept your argument that there is a case for constitutional reform. I accept that. But this is what we have. And one expects that there must be a point beyond which you will not go, because your conscience and your sense of community, your sense of nationalism, patriotism, etc., will have to be triggered, particularly if you are given the awesome responsibility of deciding whether or not the most pertinent issue in the society can be subsided or eradicated, preferably. I'm talking here about crime and criminality and our young people gravitating to such, and of course the gang wars and all of that. So it is clear that what is in the mortar is more than just the pestle. In other words, I'm simply saying that the decision that was made could not have been on an objective, real, and of course timely realization of the situation in Trinidad and Tobago, which that bill was supposed to address. It has to be something more and beyond your conscience and your rationality and your assessment by these goodly, very intelligent, high-profile, outstanding citizens.
All right, and what you find
of the nine persons that were selected, but as I said, by a poison tree, and they simply are the fruits of that tree.
And what you find is more into that in what you are talking about.
It is simply that if they were really analyzing the situation and didn't come with maybe a pre-position and having an agenda that clearly is consistent with that of the PNM, because the PNM made it very clear in the lower house, and therefore one expects that they would have be consistent in terms of their position in the upper house.
Keep everybody mic.
In the Senate, they would have been they would hold that position. So it was the duty and the responsibility of the independent, nobody could do them anything, senators, to act in the best interests of Trinidad and Tobago by extension, and to address the specificity, the specific issue that piece of legislation, if it was brought into operation or allowed to pass, would have addressed. And my position is that since that did not happen, having regard to the overwhelming evidence that the pendulum would have swung in the direction to address those so-called crime hotspots or gang warfare or gang and borderline issues, some of which they may not be familiar because of the cocoon that they and the secure position that they would have both physically, materially, and financially. But certainly, it is a concern for Trinidad and Tobago, our image out there, etc. And they have failed to respond, having been given the opportunity so to do, and to just tell us, well, you know, the government still have the SOE to come to, you know, as an option. We're going to have a SOE every day, and of course that has its own constraints, etc. So a piece of legislation like that that compels the government, and that is my point since yesterday, compels the government within 5 days to set up a community intervention or improvement council made up of all of the stakeholders within and outside of the community. One expects that their conscience would have take precedent, but that didn't happen. We have to go for the news, and when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Good morning. This is your TTT News update at 7. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service says the school-oriented policing initiative has yielded positive results. It has reaffirmed its commitment to working alongside school-based police officers and other stakeholders to maintain a safe and secure environment for students, teachers, and parents. In a TTPS media briefing on Wednesday, Deputy Commissioner of Police Junior Benjamin said the school-oriented policing initiative will maintain its mandate of providing support for school security officers and ensuring the safety of students and other stakeholders.
We recognize, as we seek to build that level of mentorship, that the police officers are already having an impact, and therefore we can say even from the stats that we are seeing that because the officers are there, that there is some level of reduction, and in some cases not just reduction, but there is some mentorship taking place, and that in itself is a positive for us.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Brian Sudin gave further insight gathered from the initiative.
So far, for this initiative, there has been a total of 33 arrests, student arrests. Offenses include possession of marijuana, possession of a weapon, sexual misconduct, assault on a principal, resisting arrest. Suspension, students suspended amounted to 63 students thus far from September to January 28th.
The school-oriented policing initiative, which started at the beginning of the 2025-2026 school term, aimed to combat instances of school violence. The collaborative effort between the Ministry of Education and the TTPS started with 50 schools with the addition of an additional secondary school during the first term. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is making it clear that the mental and emotional well-being of our children is a national priority. This as the Ministry of the People, Social Development and Family Services launched their Mindful Me journals on Wednesday, aimed at helping young people alleviate exam-related stress and anxiety.
We want our children to succeed. We want them to excel. But we must also acknowledge the weight that expectations can place on young minds. To the students who are here today, we want to share with you, you are not alone. Your feelings matter. It is okay to feel nervous. It is okay to feel stressed or overwhelmed. And it is okay, most of all, to ask for help.
Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, Vandana Mohit, has acknowledged that the pressure surrounding examinations, particularly at the primary and secondary school levels, can be overwhelming for students. On Wednesday, the ministry stated that their Mindful Me journals serve as a practical resource designed to help young people cope with exam-related pressure and nervousness.
Stress, anxiety, and fear of failure often become silent burdens carried into classrooms, carried into homes, and exam halls. The Mindful Me Journal is our way of putting people first and ensuring that our children, our future, are included in that process.
In some sport now, the West Indies under-19 team fell just short against Australia in the Super Six, going down by 22 runs, despite a blistering start from opener Zachary Carter. Carter struck 64 from 42 balls at the top of the order, giving the West Indies real hope in the chase, but after his dismissal, momentum slipped away. Speaking after the match, Carter reflected on the disappointment and the lessons he's taking from this World Cup campaign.
I was really disappointed. I was really determined to get a base score and get my team over the line. So it was guttered, and that was, to me, it was a poor shot selection. And I just think that learning has to take place. Decision making is a big key. At this level, with the quality bowling as Australia, you just have to be really disciplined. So I think that I lost the discipline there.
And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. After the break, we return to Trinidad and Tobago today.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk, talk, talk.
This is about creating opportunity through responsible management and citizen participation in national wealth. We are targeting US $3 billion in new investment within the next few years in energy, in construction, in tourism, and the digital economy.
Music.
It's reconstruction time in Trinidad, so put your shoulder to the wheel, man, lad, move on, don't stop till you reach the top. You put a hand and I put a hand and we will sing. For big and for small in no time at all, prosperity. There's no other way to do it. Show your patriotic spirit, unity, somehow. If Trinidad ever needed you, it's now.
Culture.
The budget has goodies and some not so goodies, but that is because fairness requires that everyone plays their part.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
These are not just stories. They are the echoes of who we are, passed down in voices, in silence, and in memory. From the heart of the Caribbean, where history, mystery, and magic meet, this is Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Your weekly journey into the legends, stories, and whispers of our islands. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM. You may wonder, how can a tree become a legend? But for centuries, one towering giant has stood not just as part of the landscape, but as part of the lore. They call it the silk cotton tree, also known as the ceiba, the kapok, the jumbie tree. Its massive roots grip the earth, its branches stretch high into the sky, and its shadow carries stories older than memory. Long before the modern world, the first peoples of Trinidad, the Amerindians, believed this tree was a dwelling place for spirits. They didn't worship it, but they revered it. Later, when Africans were brought to the island, they too learned to respect the silk cotton. So deeply, in fact, that many refused to cut it down for timber. That fear still lives today. Engineers, planners, workers, even with blueprints in hand, have been known to walk away rather than disturb a silk cotton tree. Better to reroute a road than to awaken what lies within. For the old stories warn, inside the trunk, inside the roots, dwell spirits not meant to be disturbed. And if you dare to cut it, if you strike the silk cotton, if you chop away even a single piece, the lore says you will be struck dead. immediately. No second chances, no mercy, just silence. So when you pass one on a lonely road, when its massive branches loom above you in the moonlight, remember, in the Caribbean, some trees are not just trees. They are guardians, they are warnings, they are alive with stories we were never meant to forget. Another tale from our islands, reminding us that the past, the spirits, and the stories of our ancestors are never far away. You've been listening to Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Only on Talk City 91.1 FM.
The largest Pan Festival is back! On Sunday, 1st February, we head to the Queen's Park Savannah for Pan on the Greens Music Festival 2026. It's our big line! It's our big line! We on the greens! And we lime in from 1 p.m. till... We on the greens! Over 18 soca superstars on the big stage. And it can't be a best line without big DJs. It's the biggest line in Trinidad and Tobago. Sort out your coolers. Which crew you're liming with? Who you're liming with? It's a big lime! Get your tickets now at Watford Cafe or online at islandetickets.com. Looking for a crew package? Send us an email. beyondthegreens@gmail.com or WhatsApp 325-7177. Pan on the Greens 2026 is a big lime. Brought to you by NCC and BH Entertainment. We lime in!
From the road to the radio. Talk City 91.1. 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the ground report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
We must make government work for the people rather than have the people work to keep a government in place.
Time check. It's 11 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM. And you're listening and viewing us on all our social media platforms at Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. And you can also get us on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube, The Ground Report on YouTube, and 648 Television on YouTube. The lines, Trinidad and Tobago, because we haven't opened the lines that say are open. That's some other things we had to discuss. So you go ahead, caller. What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning? You all try to make it short and sweet. You all see the time we used to have, we don't have no more. Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the Ground Report.
Pleasant morning to the Pitbull, Andy Williams. Good morning to Lennox Smith and Snipe, Trinidad, and the Honorable Prime Minister. Andy, you hearing me?
Loud and clear, Tabakit.
Thank you. Let me give my postmortem and what happened in the upper house with the independent senator.
Lennox, let me see you.
Andy, I am smelling a fish van with rotten fish passing. And that is what happened in the parliament. Let's go there. When the independent senators had to bring their amendments to the bill, Trinidad and Tobago, you all must listen to this. every one of the senators, what they did, they decide that, you know what, we're not going to bring that amendment again. But what was passing strange, the former Attorney General, Faris Alwari, every time the independent senators to bring an amendment, they withdraw it. But every time they did that, Faris Alwari got up and bring an amendment. But what was strange, Faris Alwari was looking back at the independent bench and bowing to them. When Marlene Atz had maybe about 6 different amendments, Alwari just looked back at her and bowed. And every time he bowed to the independent bench, that was the code to remove, do not bring any amendment, withdraw, and I would bring it. Trinidad and Tobago, what happened in the parliament on Tuesday? The independent benches, they are no longer independent. They must resign immediately. Andy, let's go there. When you have a prime minister of a country is now telling you where 2 independent senators approach a government senator for bribe, that there warrant where the commissioner of police immediately must launch a full investigation and charge and arrest those 2 independent senators. And this is a prime minister of a country. This is not alleged, you know. A prime minister of a country is now telling you that the independent benches, and I am making a clarion call. And Andy, you have been doing something last year. You have been going in front of different institutions to call out. Tabakit is willing to go with you and hundreds to call on the president to remove the 9 independent senators. And if she didn't do that, here's where I go, Lennox, now, and I will come off after this. If the president did not remove the 9 independent senators, what it means to say the president is a part of the conspiracy, and what we would have to do, we would have to impeach the president. Then which means that will trigger off the section in the Constitution where we would have to remove the president. Let me repeat what the Prime Minister said. It is cause for concern that 2 of the independent senators conspired in order to take bribe from 2 government senators, Trinidad and Tobago. Andy, before I go, you with me there?
Yes.
If this managed to remain, and it's on the record by a Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, I am now calling your good self, Andy. What you have been doing, going in front of various institutions, Tabakit is willing to join you to call on the president immediately to remove those 9 independent senators. And if she did not remove them, she's a part of the conspiracy to form a coup d'etat to remove a sitting government. This is frightening. Tabakit out and off.
Thank you. Next caller. Pleasant good morning to you. Caller, where you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report?
This is Dogo Martin. Good morning to you on Lennox. Morning. A couple of things.
Good morning.
2 things I want to go. I want to clap back at the LATT.
I ain't seen you, Lennox. Director, let me see Lennox.
Yeah.
All right, we make the adjustments momentarily, but go ahead, Mr. Diego Martin.
Right. I want to clap back at LATT, the LAT, and I wouldn't put the RINE at the back of it, right? We go keep it clean. Listen to me. I am hearing that they're saying nobody is above the law, including the police commissioner. the fact that he basically didn't suspend those 3 policemen with the Bassey St. Augustine shooting. I want to remind LATT there is a person who is now a judge in the Eastern Caribbean who misled a Miami court, and let me say it bluntly, lied in a Miami court with an affidavit. And what did they tell him? They tell him he was a good boy. So they come in to preach accountability and transparency and honesty, integrity is out of the window. More importantly, a judge appeal court overturned a disciplinary matter they brought against a fellow who jumped from the UNC, a lawyer who jumped from the UNC and went to the PNM. A fellow by me around Bali. They made a judgment on him, and when he took it to the appeal court, they were castigated. So they must not come and try to pontificate to us. I mean, they said, let us go back to independent senators now. When there was the collapse of the merit list, it was a member of that fraternity, the police service, with Bliss, the police service company, by the name of McNish. And he was part, or he facilitated the collapse of that. Where was the LATT? Because who was implicated in that fiasco was a prime minister, president, and that supposedly independent body member they call McNish. I mean to say, how the LATT didn't say anything about that. And then we fast forward to now. You remember, it have a fella named Aloe Vera. He brought the judiciary into disrepute when it appears that he colluded and he invited the appeal court judges to make a pronouncement on a then opposition senator. And what did the LATT say? Did they scold him? Did they tell him as a member of the LATT you shouldn't be doing that? Then let him go free. And the president didn't bring him to account. Neither the Chief Justice, the then Chief Justice. So you have him, you have 2, and I believe it might be the same one or it might be the 2. And then you have McNish, 4 possible senators who are tainted. I won't say contaminated, but tainted and could lead to the contaminated of the pressure. So I'm back in with the Prime Minister. 358 votes. 9 plus 1, 10. Nah, how we can basically go with them? We have to be part of Plan B to agitate for good governance, and that is including the rethink of all the opposition senator. And as Tabakit say, if we have to do some harsh decision, if we have to burn down the institution and start back, so be it. We have to fix the country. I go and have a nice morning.
Wow. If we had a burn down now, if we had to find ways and means to get what we want done, but burn down the country now. We can't do that at all. The criminal elements and them, the home invasions and them, the corrupt politicians.
I don't think he said that, Andy. Let's interpret what he said. He said the institutions he was referring to, not the country.
Oh,
in other words, if a country, if an institution is dysfunctional, then of course he used that analogy to emphasize how critical it is, and if you are prepared to do that, not literally, of course, he's talking figuratively, obviously.
All right. Go ahead. I know that, but I chose that for you to do that. So who may not understand that will understand that. Go ahead, caller.
I hear you, my friend. Well done.
Right. Good morning to the Mr. Smith.
Yes.
I listened to that debate, and I will tell you, Ms. Kamala achieved her goal. No matter, even Rowley jump out, but Ms. Kamala using real strategies on this PNM from since before the election. In the 28th of April, 2025. Remember what she did? In October 2024, she bought the radio stations and the television station And she had all her candidates, and she made them believe that she ain't ready yet for the election. And they call election thinking they in front. And when Miss Kamala was in front. Now listen this. What I realized listening to David Naked and Roberts, if you go back and listen to these two senators, how they blast the independent senator. And they was on the independent senators even more than even the normal PNM senators. Why? Kamala wanted to prove the point that these independent senators not independent. And this is what the vote achieved. No, Kamala lose nothing because it wasn't a bill to say, well, improve any fine or some new laws that the government would have benefit, or some new tax that even the government would have benefit. It was something for the people in the village or the community. But then listen to this. What could stop the police from going and having a roadblock in these places? Nothing could stop the police. The police could have roadblock anytime they want, right? So this bill doesn't make sense because the police could have roadblock. The only difference, Kamala would have been in control of the police in sort of arranging them in that what you see happen what there in St. Augustine, she might have been able to have some recipe, I have to say, on that. How it should go, how it shouldn't go. Now, if the police had to do their own thing now, it will be the commissioner of police in charge to go in these places, and it wouldn't be Kamala involvement. But Kamala achieved her goal, proving to the nation that these independent senators, not independent, and they fall for it. That's why they talk about them before the vote.
Yeah, but let me ask you something. Because you said something that confused me a little bit based on one of their queries, serious queries, was the power that a prime minister would have into all of that. And you are technically openly admitting that by saying Kamala would have had the power, well, the honorable prime minister would have the power to control the police. What were you saying there?
Not to control the police, that zone, the zone that she would have been able to sort of help that what you see happen there. I'm talking about the killing.
Right. But who you think supposed to have the power to control those zones, constitutional-wise?
Listen, the commissioner will have the power to control the zone when Kamala give them the rights to the zone. You understand what I'm saying? She would have been pointing out the zone.
It has to be declared. But of course, the commissioner will play a role before and after. That. Yeah, because he will recommend the council, the National Security Council, of course, headed by the Prime Minister, will then make the announcement, and then, of course, they take over again. Go ahead. I just want to make it clear. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you very much, Lennox Smith, because you see how it was looking. But thank you so much, Lennox Smith. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lennox Smith. So that's what I'm saying. Right now, the commissioner could go in there still. Nobody can stop him. But it wouldn't be declared, as Mr. Smith is saying, right? But they could do the same thing. And the outcome could be different as they think, you know what I mean? So what I'm saying, Kamala achieve her goal, that these independent senators, not independent, and they fall for it. Thank you, sir.
That is all you was to say there. Very good. Oh boy. You have anything on yours?
I want to add the real goal. The real goal. You remember this thing has a three-pronged approach. Clear, meaning that you get rid of the criminal elements, and then you hold, and then you develop. And that development part of it, enshrined in law, would have been music to a fellow like me, is in terms of our efforts to transform communities such as East Port of Spain, Laventille, and so on, which would have been some of the considerations, actually the first consideration as far as ZOSO let's say, area is concerned. That's the important thing for
Understood. Oh boy, Mr. Symes.
Grant me that opportunity.
Nice. Play that those voice notes that you have by the meanwhile. Oh boy. And only don't forget the lines are open. But let's get out some of those voices.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning, my brother. Boy, Miss Sandy Williams, boy, people might vex by understanding, but let me tell you, the UNC and the government looking forward again right now. Because let me tell you something. During the campaign trail, all they say, they come in to lock up from our side, all they come in to expose the corruption and lock up people from our side. You understand? Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Men like Himbert, Alwari, Stuart Young, you understand? Them fellas are supposed to be in parliament. The majority of them who right now ain't supposed to be in parliament. Foster Cummins, all of them, they ain't supposed to be in parliament. So much corruption thing behind them. You understand? And nobody getting locked up. Nobody getting charged. They had a big thing about Himbert. Money missing. You understand? Billions missing. Nothing happening. You understand? So the UNC looking forward again now because they may put no pressure on them. You understand? They may put no pressure on them and locking up nobody. So we expect. And showing the corruption they had for the past 10 years. You understand? So they have to take what they get now.
Good morning, Andy. Big Ram here. Still on my bed, my brother. Blessings to you and the crew. Andy, I don't understand these people in Trinidad saying that the government want to kill black people. Andy, right now it's black people killing black people. We had an incident in America in Minneapolis where this one guy called George Floyd was killed by the police. And all of a sudden in Trinidad, they're protesting Black Lives Matter. But Andy, look at it, let's be real, it's black people killing black people. I'm not saying the Indians are doing no crime, but it's black killing black. I guess that people are so biased back home. It's like, come see, never see. Everything America do, they want to do. But hear what? They don't live in America. They live in Trinidad. Right now, we should have a protest for this bill that they fail. They should have a protest for that. Andy, I don't know what to say about my Trinidad people, my brother. Have a blessed day.
Andy, good morning. Andy, I must say something about the shooting. Andy, every so often, the police will make a mistake. Something will go wrong. Okay? Somebody was not thinking at the time, they fired a gun, blah, blah, blah. They have the law, the court, they will do that justice to the police or for the justice for the victim. They can clear that out. So so often there's an incident, things happen. Even over here, it happens too. Okay? The law will take care of that and fix that. But don't come and say that all police are bad police. When a policeman get up in the morning, they have to, you're not sure they're going to come back home. Because some criminal out there will be waiting with a gun to shoot them. They don't give a damn if they're dead. But the policeman will care about the family. So this idiots and stupid people commenting about the shooting and it's such a garaha. Don't even take them on, Andy. And the next thing too, the amount of money Foster Cummins and the Foster going take from the government, the family get. When you talk about jobs, any PNM asks about jobs, ask them to tell Foster Cummins to give back the money that is stolen and the PNM people. I mean, why would you listen to people? You get sick to your guts. You don't feel like even listening. Half a foreigner don't feel like calling in anymore. Because them people are stupid. They got to understand to fix your community, to help your community. PNM people don't want that. And I don't talk about the opposition. I keep telling all you there, I keep saying to people there is no opposition, that's PNM, people put them there. So they have to vote PNM. All right, Andy, talk to you later, bye.
We're going to take a break and come right back. We continue with the voice notes.
If you are a migrant currently living in Trinidad and Tobago without legal immigration status, this message is for you. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has introduced a special registration process for migrants who have overstayed or entered the country illegally. The online registration process will begin from Monday 26th of January and end on Wednesday 25th of February 2026. All applicants are first required to register through the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. After completing the online registration, there will be a mandatory in-person processing and verification which begins at the end of February 2026. The start date for that phase will be announced through official government channels. The in-person registration will take place at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, Port of Spain, the Atto Bolden Stadium in Balmain, Couva, and the Larry Gomes Stadium in Malabar, Arima, as well as the Dwight York Stadium, Bacalet, Scarborough, Tobago. Applicants will undergo a comprehensive verification process, which will include vetting by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service involving fingerprinting and background checks. You will also be required to undergo basic medical screening. Upon completion of the registration process, successful applicants will be required to pay $700 for the migrant registration card. The ministry reminds undocumented migrants your participation in this exercise is essential, as failure to register during this window will result in deportation. This special registration process for migrants is your opportunity to be documented, protected, and allowed to work legally in Trinidad and Tobago for a defined period. For additional instructions, along with online application and required forms, visit the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. This message brought to you by the Ministry of Homeland Security and the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
More news, more access, more ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter on air and online. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
Are you looking to take your business to the next level? Let Talk City 91.1 FM help you reach thousands of potential customers daily. Our sales team is ready to craft the perfect advertising package just for you. Contact our sales department at 622-4141, extension 2601, 2602, 2605, and 2607, or email info@ttt.co.tt for unbeatable advertising opportunities with Talk City 91.1 FM. Carnival is culture. Culture is conversation. Talk City 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the ground report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The ground report. The ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The ground report. The ground report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The ground report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy. We are back. Time check. It's 38 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And you are listening and viewing the Ground Report on all our social media platforms. At Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also get us on Real Media TT on Facebook, YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube, The Ground Report on YouTube, 648 on YouTube. Yeah, 648 television. So for those of you in your maxis, in your taxis, in your PH vehicles, when you leave your transport, just go on your gadget and let's continue this number one program. Or keep us in your company. Trying to go, the lines are open. Oh, you have to continue those voice notes. Go ahead, Nigel Snipes. Finish up those voice notes there for us.
Good morning. But right now, all this thing going on in this conscious crime thing, I realize it's like a game now, boy. In care of what's going on though. These real fellas, why they putting these fellas in jail for? They have people family outside there born and crying and them going to jail and sit down and laughing and having fun. It's electrocute these fellas, kill these fellas. Don't have them get fat on taxpayers' money inside of it. You understand? Look how much people crying out there for their loved ones. You understand? Them making it a target out, for people. Killing people, you understand, and having fun outside it. Going in jail and sit down and making videos all kind of shameless. You understand? Them things is shameless, boy. The prosecutor, the lawyer, man should know how to make them money because when you're killing them, have nothing to make. So that's why they want them to come in so they could make $100,000 or $1,000 from them. That's how they men they pay, you understand? That's supposed to stop. This law, real different boy, dog. Boy, I like it, boy. You understand? This other stop, boy.
Oh, Andy, I forget something. Oh, Andy, that's a good thing they're doing with registering all of those illegal migrants like the Venezuelan. Because what they can do now is have a lot of people, police, vetting them. And every 7 they vet, only 2 remain in the country and 5 go back. Put them in a plane and let Kamala send them back. That's all they do. And Delcy Rodriguez will have to take them because all she had to do is call Big Papi. When she called Big Papi up here, they will have to take them back. So every 7 you vet, you keep 2, then you send 5 in the police, in the jail, and then ship them back home. That's how she has to do it to get rid of them, to put them back to the country. And Delcy will have to accept them because Kamala will just have to call Big Papi, and they will have to take them back. All right, Auntie, later.
Well, we're waiting this morning to hear if we get the results of the last competition. So we don't really have to play right now. You know, we got to play right now. But we're waiting until to see. If she don't come in, then we'll, because it's the mother write the music and everything. So.
Oh God, sorry about this magnificent tree. What I forget to say, as Mr. Lennox now said it, the people who lose really is not Kamla. It's the people who in the village or the people who in the community lose. According to what Mr. Lennox said, they lose that opportunity. So it's not Kamla that lose. Right? I just wanted to say that. I just forget to say that. Thank you, Mr. Smith. You are so wise, sir.
One day, morning, Trinidad, Tobago. Andy, I see them independent senators and then realize yellow is not the code and this current government only distressing people. You
this program still balanced. So I hear you quiet. You ain't saying nothing. What's going on? Before when PNM was in power, the show was balanced. The show not balanced no more. What's going on? Call them out. You ain't calling them out. The only distressing people outside here, and you ain't calling them out. You ain't saying nothing.
Morning, ground report family. Irene here. All this back and forth thing with PNM senators and UNC senators and why we can't change our system and come to the people themselves, you know, how do I say it? Walk that paper and you sign your name on it, wherever, you know. Can't remember the name what else call it. But why not come to the people instead of have people deciding our future? Let the people decide their own future. Simple.
That's where we at. Yeah, of course. I suspect that the caller is referencing a referendum to, of course, get a sense of the people's willingness to solve their own problem
Hold 1 minute there.
by that mechanism. Go ahead, Andy.
Hi, Andy. Good morning to you, Lennox, Mikey, Nigel, and to everybody out there. Andy, let me just clear up a little misconception here, right? You know, I keep hearing people saying, or on social media as well, that when this president leave, the government will appoint their president, and because yesterday I had this conversation with somebody on social media, the government will appoint their president, right, and they will choose their senators. No, and they made reference with Kamona. Kamona was not a sitting MP like Linda Babulal and Christine Gangalu. They were not. He was not a sitting MP. He was a retired judge. We don't know his political affiliation. He was chosen by the partnership government. He was chosen by the partnership government. And Rowley had the gall and the gumption to tell him, brace yourself, buckle your seatbelt for all the corruption that's going on with this government. I wonder if Christine Gangalu was bracing herself for the corruption, and Linda Babulal. Yes, they will choose their own, and I'm absolutely sure they will not choose somebody who was exposing their political affiliation, telling people to spread the gospel of the PNM in every nook and cranny and take it into their homes. Okay, Andy, front burner number 2. I want to commend you and the female caller that spoke about the failure of the ZOSOs and so on, right? Points well taken. And I am asking a question, right? We all know that that Vera was given silk under the PNM. We all know his political affiliation. We all know what he did to Jayanti in the Senate. And up to now, we can't say who were the judges that was calling him when Jayanti makes some statement or whatever, right? We all know that. It's public knowledge. We saw, and I think one of those senators are now sitting, she's sitting on the answer Makal board or something like that. I stand to be corrected. Lennox, you can correct me, right? I want to know, since this government came into office, and even before, under a UNC government, how many times did those so-called independent senators supported anything from the UNC government? And I also would like to know how many times they supported the PNM in everything that they bought, whether it was right or it was wrong. How many times they supported them? Maybe Lennox can help me with this. Maybe somebody else out there can help us with this, right? We want to know. We would, inquiring minds want to know how much support they give to the PNM government and how much they give to the UNC government in both dispensations, right? Under Vieira, especially under Vieira. And before I close, I want to say Danishwa Mahabir was the best, the most independent senator ever was. There ever was. He was very impartial. And he was under Patrick Manning's watch. That even Patrick Manning took him to do the audit when they came into office after Pandey's UNC government. Thanks a lot, Andy.
Let's good morning again. Andy, Lennox, let's ask you something. Is it possible that these independents and them get some kind of threat by some hierarchies to vote against this thing? Is it as a possibility that they have been threatened? I mean, I just saying out of the box, and they have to go along with it. I don't know. I just say it. Is there something you see things in movies, you know? So do we know if it's a movie we're watching? Because them can't be thinking under their own conscience and everybody voting across the board like that. Not even one of them saying, well, go against it. You understand? So they all of them have the same page. I think they should move them from behind the opposition bench, you know, and put them in a separate section, you know, because it seems like them getting influence, you know. All right, blessings, everyone.
Andy, morning again. To that caller who called, I had to pull aside, you know. To the caller that called and say the UNC look for that because they're investigating Imbert and this one and Faris and things. You want them to take the taxpayers' money and whatever kakada that was left in the treasury to go and investigate these corrupted politicians. They have to start to bring in revenue in the country. Look how much things the woman come and she do, in a short space of time. This whole country needs to be reset. When the country gets in a comfortable position that money is coming in, they start to create more jobs, we see the infrastructure, the roads and whatever, then they could concentrate on charging and bringing to justice these corrupted politicians. It takes money, it takes time. How much thing all you want the government to do at the same time? It's only 9 months the government is there. They have the facts. But at the end of the day, they have to gather the information, make sure they dot the I's and cross the T. What you want them to do? You want Imbert and Faris and them to go now and slam the government with lawsuits and then taxpayers have to pay it? Oh gosh, all they relax all themselves now, pat down a little bit, man. Everything will get done. Everybody wants these criminals and these thieves to become before the court and to pay back our taxpayers their dollars. What about the $1 million US that they gave Maduro? For nothing. And that's what we know of. What we don't know of? Of course, I'll relax all themselves a little bit. The UNC look for what they get. All take all the time, no man.
Nice. Well, that's it for voice notes for now. But my interjection there will be, I will help that lady there on her discourse. One, the government of Trinidad and Tobago cannot investigate no corrupt politician or no money missing and those type of things. People, it is our duty to educate you all. Them cannot do that. The powers to be that have to do that is people like the police commissioner, the DPP, and them kind of people. Not the government. The government is the legislative. Not the security or the police. They can't. What they can do is maybe what they might be already doing is making information available to the relevant authorities that have the power to do that. Anytime I see the UNC government locking up people, I going against them bad? Because it is not, them can't do that. Lennox Smith, please explain that to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That is a serious homophobia that people have. A government cannot.
I was about to tell you go to the top of the class because you did a very good job. There is something called the Central Authority in the Office of the Attorney General that deals with matters of that nature, including, of course, extradition and so on, and to get information in other jurisdictions, such as in other countries and so on, follow the money, so to speak. But the ultimate office to, of course, engage, particularly where criminal matters are concerned, certainly is the DPP ultimately, and the police will engage. Of course, in terms of civil matters, the Attorney General can, of course, bring matters to the court in that regard, if it's to recover monies that might have been illegally or corruptly taken from the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the taxpayers. So those are the nuances that I would want to make an intervention on. But of course, to tell you that you have done a good job in treating with that explanation, I don't think I need to add any more to it.
Nice. What else we have out there on the front burner besides this bill that some people, well, you could say, I can say about 40% of the country, to me, our way out is based on race and based on that police shooting or murder of that gentleman there.
I want to address that slightly before we go to other things, because we have Stuart Young suing Dr. Munilal for defamation. So that's a matter that we could look at as well. But before we go into
wait. Before you go to there, because we really beat on this topic really long. So you said that Stuart Young, the former energy minister of Trinidad and Tobago, put Dr. Munilal, the current energy minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
He sent him a pre-action protocol letter, the 14-day period to respond to such an initiative that will begin the process of a full-fledged legal matter before the court is still to be exhausted.
Will you be able to tell us what was said?
It is in response quickly. We have to go for the break, but quickly. Stuart Young is alleging that he call his name in respect of that $7 billion that was not figured out by the ministry when he was there.
Because again,
but we go for let's go for
in motion. Dan Moraine, satire in silk.
With exaggerated curves and elaborate gowns, Dame Lorraine was never just comedy. She was satire. In the 19th century, freed Africans parodied the excess of French plantation society, mocking aristocratic fashion, manners, and power. Every movement exaggerated privilege. Every costume questioned status. Dame Lorraine reminds us, Carnival has always spoken truth, sometimes with laughter.
Carnival Stories, where humor meets history. Carnival Stories on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens. Because your world can't wait. Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Pan on the road. Voices on the air. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra. And right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Nice. I wanted us to get back in before the top of the hour there. You said that a former energy minister.
It was an understatement or a misstatement when Stuart Young was the Minister of Energy. A mistake that was made that would have cost Trinidad and Tobago in revenue over $7 billion or 1 billion US. And that was detected. So, of course, the minister disclosed that to the public, claiming that it was under Stuart Young's watch that occurred, and he was involved in the preparation of the cabinet note and things like of that nature. And therefore he was accusing him of incompetence and so on, and therefore he's saying that he has reputational loss and so forth, and therefore has sent a pre-action protocol letter to the minister indicating that he will be taking legal action in due course.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
Papa. You can't, so now you can't say when people make a mistake again when MPs can't.
Yeah, but I want to tell the honorable minister, do not be in any way timid or intimidated by Stuart Young. These fellas are pure bluffers. Of course, I am not saying what direction the minister should go, but I am saying so from personal experience, and I'm taking it from the pre-action protocol letter that was sent to us, you and I, by Stuart Young, indicating, and I have the document here before me, indicating that he wants our undertaking not to repeat. He also wants, of course, damages in the sum of $700,000.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update at 8. I am Carrie Roberts. Breaking the news at this time. The visit of the chair of the Caribbean Community, or CARICOM, Dr. Terence Drew, to Trinidad and Tobago is of great significance. TNT Ambassador Plenipotentiary to CARICOM, Ralph Mirage, says that it is a positive event.
I think it is also quite welcome in the light of the fact that there have been some differences of opinion in recent times between Trinidad and Tobago and CARICOM as a whole. Not unexpected. In any family, there are always differences, but things have, largely been smoothed out. And I'm sure this visit by the incoming chairman will also advance the cause of greater cooperation and collaboration among CARICOM as a whole.
Mr. Mirage says that the visit will emphasize the synergy between this country and the wider CARICOM community, especially with respect to Venezuela's political situation.
There is a common position, essentially, between Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister and the rest of CARICOM. And I'm saying there is an opportunity for a united CARICOM voice to press for the process of democratic change in Venezuela. And CARICOM, as you know, is an important regional body, along with others, the OAS, Mercosur, and the Andean Group, and so on. We should all join voices in pressing for a democratic process, a transition to democracy.
In other news, government has distributed over $2 million in flood relief to farmers affected by flooding in May 2025. That's according to Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Ravi Ratiram. Minister Ratiram was speaking during a farmers' consultation held at the office of the Member of Parliament for Tunapuna on Wednesday afternoon.
Last year alone, we had to give out about, I think it was more than 2 million. I'm not sure of the exact figures, but I think it was more in the closer vicinity of about $4 million worth in flood relief grant for those farmers who were affected. And we are talking about not just giving out the grant to help the farmers, the price of the commodity in the market, after the supply falls, what happened? the price goes up.
The Cooperative Credit Union League of Trinidad and Tobago has pledged its unwavering support for the continued development of the credit union movement. This is in response to claims by a joint select committee that the legislative framework governing credit unions across the country is outdated. The assurance was given during the launch of the League's 2026 calendar of events, where the organization reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening and modernizing the sector. Newly appointed president of the Cooperative Credit Union League of Trinidad and Tobago, Aldrich Neptune, noted that the league has been lobbying for legislative reform since 1975, but those efforts were overlooked for decades.
These claims by the central bank are a distortion of the facts. For it is a matter of public record that the league and the credit union movement were the first to call for modernization of the Cooperative Society Act 8103 of 1971.
With the launch of the calendar of events for 2026, Mr. Neptune said the movement will continue to defend their rights and protect the interests of its members.
We support the democratic right of the members to elect their leaders. However, we have never suggested that anyone, as the central bank put it, can walk off the street without meeting necessary competencies and sit on a board. We have never advocated that, and we do not support that. And that is not what exists in the movement at the moment.
The annual calendar of events listed several items, including an overview of FATF amendments in March, the 79th Annual General Meeting in April, and 26th Annual Leadership Conference in May. In some sport now, the West Indies under-19 team fell just short against Australia in the Super 6, going down by 22 runs, despite a blistering start from opener Zachary Carter. Carter struck 64 from just 42 balls at the top of the order, giving the West Indies real hope in the chase, but after his dismissal, momentum slipped away. Speaking after the match, Carter reflected on the disappointment and the lessons he's taking from this World Cup campaign.
I was really disappointed. I was really determined to get a base score and get my team over the line, so it was gutted, and to me it was a poor shot selection, and I just think that learning has to take place. Decision making is a big key. At this level, with the quality bowling as Australia, you just have to be really disciplined, so I think that I lost the discipline there.
And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Have a great day.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
The Cabinet has approved the increase in the permissible age of importation of foreign-use right-hand drive private cars, that's sports utilities, SUVs, sedans, and station wagons, powered by gasoline, dieseline, or compressed natural gas, CNG, from 3 years to under 8 years, and under from the date of manufacture.
Music.
As Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has announced recently with our revitalization master plan, we are open for business. And a key area, a key focus of that master plan is, of course, the energy sector and the energy hub. And we will be open for business, not only for Nutrien, but for all other players that wish to discuss their investment portfolio with us.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
These are not just stories, they are the echoes of who we are, passed down in voices, in silence, and in memory. From the heart of the Caribbean, where history, mystery, and magic meet, this is Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Your weekly journey into the legends, stories, and whispers of our islands. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM. In the folklore of the Caribbean, there are spirits whispered about when the sun begins to set. They are called duendes. They are said to be the souls of children who died before they were baptized, doomed to wander the earth forever. They are often seen near forests and along the edges of rivers, but there is something strange about them. They have no faces, and their feet are turned backwards. It is believed that duendes may approach children who are alone, gently calling, leading them deeper into the bush until they are lost. At night, some say they come close to people's homes, crying, whimpering, as if searching for company. And so the elders warn us, never call your child's name in open places when the light is fading. The duendes will take the name and use it to call them away. In our stories and in our silence, we keep the old warnings alive, because when dusk falls, not every voice in the forest belongs to the living. Another tale from our islands, reminding us that the past, the spirits, and the stories of our ancestors are never far away. You've been listening to Echoes of Our Folklore. Echoes of Our Folklore. Only on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Within traditional mass, the Jabmalasi speaks through action rather than words, using movement to convey meaning and intent. Last time, we reviewed its distinction within the devil band and the costume elements. In today's installment, we explore the character's movement and symbolism. Experienced portrayer of the traditional carnival character, Miss Kia Mulrain, who spoke virtually with InfoDev Radio, enlightens us.
The movement of the Jabmalasi is, to use a patois word, it's to diskinky the body or to disfigure the body. So you're going to see somebody moving in ways that you would not consider a regular human being walking down the street to use. So they may be crawling on the floor or bending their body in different ways. Also, in terms of movement, what I would say is that the jab also tends to move in accordance with what we call the jab rhythm. So traditionally, you will hear this most often accompanying a Jabmalasi on a quick span, or you may also hear it at times in drums. But the rhythm is also very present in some of our own current soca here in Trinidad, but also even more popularly over in Grenada.
It is said that the Jabmalasi would wear locks and keys around its waist and carry chains.
So this is interesting because this actually does go back to the history of the Jabmalasi character and where it comes from. So like a lot of our other forms of traditional mass, the Jabmalasi is informed by the history of enslavement within the country. So the chains or other forms of restraint actually speak to that form of oppression or of the enslavement of our people.
This shifts the conversation towards the character's presence and purpose within traditional mass.
I was actually speaking to a group of my friends within the industry, and we were talking about what jab means, what it symbolizes, and something that was said was that the Jabmalasi is a mass of discomfort. So what I would say is that the Jabmalasi, it signifies not just the history of oppression within our country, but of the resilience of our people, that there have always been those who have been willing to make noise and to stand up for the wrongs that are committed within our society. The Jabmalasi is, and I might be biased, but to me the Jabmalasi is one of our most powerful symbols of that.
Ms. Kia Mulrain's reflections highlight how the Jabmalasi's movement, presentation, and underlying ideas come together to define the character in traditional mass. Join us next time when she will share her personal connection to portraying the Jabmalasi.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
Where carnival meets conversation. Talk City 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the ground report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Desha, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy. We are back. Time check. Yeah, it's 13 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report. Yours truly, Andy Williams, the pitbull of radio, which is me, Lennox Smith, the big word man, our director Snipes, and you, the people out there, and your thousands of you that are locked on, especially my taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, truckers. Yes, you drive in public. Thanks so much for making sure the commuters that you are carrying to work and from work, that they lock on to the number one program, the Ground Report. And don't forget, any one of them tell all you, change the dial. Change the dial. We don't want to hear about no Ground Report. Remember ways we go, Watch them, remember? Pull aside easy, and then throw them out of the maxi, throw them out. Throw them out of the taxi, throw them out. Throw them out of the PH vehicle, throw them out. Yeah, we can just throw them out. Sandy Jones, a pleasant good morning to you. I see a lot of people saying that you're not wrong, but I see like you're now jump on. I was going to call you after the program to find out if everything is all right with you. We haven't saw you for a while, so there have a lot of calls coming in, right? We know we stick so much already to this bill, and then the plenty of the talk is all about those murders. Well, the murder of that young gentleman in the car and all those various things, right? But I want to watch the Guardian, the front page of the Guardian here, which stated not so. Independent senators.
I would love to make reference to complete my reference with respect to our own experience as far as pre-protocol action protocol letter is concerned.
By Stuart Young.
Yeah.
By Stuart Young.
Yeah. Prior to
so
the
Tobago,
we weren't able to complete.
Stuart Young, Soil, and Lennox Smith will explain you all, sent a pre-protocol action letter for definition for myself and him. And asked for we to pay 700 and something thousand and all kind of bacchanal thing or whatever. Lennox Smith, let them know why he did that.
I think we'll have a sense as to the kind of cowardice that these people are, in my view. Of course, this pre-action protocol letter is dated the 1st of June 2020, so quite in 2020. Pre-action protocol letter, of course, and it says defamation of Mr. Stuart Young, published, well, I'm not going to call the name of that entity, but certainly it came from Alatasha R.G. Gerving, that is, of course, his attorney. And, of course, inside of there, very interesting indeed, as part of the members of that chamber, you also have, among others, but you have people like Michael Kwamina. That team is very important, Michael Kwamina.
The former chairman of the Heritage and them companies there.
Yes, Heritage. And the man who is also the legal representative for Dr. Rowley, who he put there after the closure of the oil refinery and the shutting down of Petrotrin. We remember that, and we had said that is a conflict of interest, and among other things. But we will deal with that later on. I just want to read a piece what you said to compare it with what Dr. Mulal would have said to just give people an idea that this is more politics than anything else. But let me tell you what he was asking us to do. He was asking us to one, give an undertaking not to repeat the published words that we used. Two, an immediate and unequivocal public apology in terms to be approved by of course the lawyer. That's one, in 7 days' time. And then thirdly, damages in the sum of $700,000. Let me repeat. He was asking Andy and I to put as damages 700,000, or maybe in some escrow account or something, I don't know. Unfortunately, of course, payment of my client's cost, that is to say, the lawyer is asking us to pay the cost to Stuart Young for this pre-action protocol letter back in 2020, the sum of $5,000. All right, and what are some of the things that he complained about? Well, Andy said, for example, what the aircraft had, how much U.S. money Young you get. He was asking that question at the time. Of course, you would know that would have been at the time when Delcy Rodriguez came into the country, and everybody was appalled because, of course, locals were unable to come in because they were shut out, and yet still, of course, Delcy Rodriguez and others and her entourage was able to come into the country. Well, of course, let me just speedily say that this pre-action protocol letter was when 2020. Well, we sent back, and this is 6 pages long. Well, we sent back almost, I think, 50 pages of response. That was our response within the 14 days. Incidentally, I think my Andy will want to address that.
And the
one.
7 days, not 14. He gave, remember, he gave 7 days to respond. No?
Yes, 7 days. 7 days. Yes, I believe it's that. Yes, but at any rate, I know you would want to respond to how Lala
so we went to Larry Lala.
We went, go on, you said before I draw the conclusion.
So we went to Larry Lala, Trinidad and Tobago, who was supposed to be a UNC back then and a lawyer and all where it go. When we went to Larry Lala, from days when I didn't know something wrong and this man is a PNM under low profile. And all of that is before he run for leadership, was running for leadership of was on a slate of the UNC and all them kind of bacchanal thing. All that was before that. That man technically say, we wrong, he can thing, best we apologize. Technically saying, pay up, hey, bam. And we didn't study him. Lennox organized, pent, sit down and pen the response. And to this date, that whole artillery of lawyers just leave us alone. Because
yes, it was that. It was, and if it wasn't so, you would have been hearing Young up and down the country saying, "Ah, boy, they catch the ground report, and therefore they will, of course, squeeze them for every dime." But let me tell you, people, what transpired up to today, when we sent our almost 50-page response. Among other things, responding to every single concern that they would have had, including, and let me just say this quickly, including calling him a liar. And of course, we sent back a flash drive with all of the lies that he told. Well, boy, we haven't heard from Young since up to today. So I'm just letting Munilal understand, Dr. Munilal understand, that it is for pure political gimmickry. But in terms of serious development, how could you send a pre-action protocol letter? You are a public servant in essence. You are the titular minister responsible for the Ministry of Energy at the time. I'm talking about Stuart Young here. And here it is, a shortfall of $7 billion was not accrued to the treasury of the country, potentially. And because Munilal said that in some public forum, he is saying that he's going to send him, he has in fact sent him a pre-action protocol letter. I say like how I would say it, since I was calling Dr. Rowley, for example, for over 5 years, making reference to his conduct in Tobago, his licentious and sexual exploit of course, minors at the time. I was minded, and I'm still minded, because that is something that has always been uppermost in my mind. To take Dr. Rowley to court for trying to call me a liar, because of course he has never responded to that call publicly. And I mean, I'm not a parliamentarian, so I don't have the privilege of Parliament and the cover of Parliament. And I was saying that for over a year, until, of course, because of radio etiquette and other issues, I stopped doing it. But certainly on my Facebook page and program, the Corridor Transformation, I would do that almost on every opportunity that I've gotten, and I still will do so, because that question about Dr. Rowley's character has not yet been addressed.
Nice.
And,
oh boy. So let me get to see you.
Is capable of doing and tolerating. Go ahead.
Nice. Let me get to see him there, Snipes. Oh boy. Let's take a call. Morning call, where you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
My contribution morning, calling from the West.
The West.
Andy, you live Bagatelle. You just talk about that. That's Zozo area. Right? And that Zozo thing, they should name that outer order people. Treat that outer order. Even with bad drivers, people drinking Carnival upon us is just a whole mess. Andy, I have been to Grenada, Barbados, St. Lucia, and these places don't have security cameras on private residence. They don't even have burglar proof. You come in Blue Range here, Blue Range where I reside. In the early part of the 90s, you had to put security gates to block off it. So 6 p.m., the gates locked. You're passing through Blue Range, you have stickers in your car. Security. Numerous break-ins, the most hideous things inside it. And that's what I'm saying, Andy. But as people say, the UNC bullying the opposition is not bullying the opposition or the independent senators. It's a fact. It is a fact. Watch the areas where the crime is and who's doing it. But I don't know probably why Andy this country not mess yet. And listen to Alexander's point, he was right. He said this shooting with this car, right? If you have body cameras, you still can't really see footage because evidence. Now, if these police officers wasn't suspended, right? Now there's an investigation going on for sure. They have strong evidence because the commissioner would make a statement like that he stand by his officers. He's making a statement just so. Understand what I'm saying, Andy? You understand? So there's more to come. There's more to come with it. Now, people calling, the police officers should say good morning, and when police stop you, you're not saying morning? You're not saying nothing? Why you stop me for? I stop you because I'm the police. I could do that. I have the right to stop you under suspicion, to search you, check your document. Right? So, Andy, all have a good day.
All right, thank you very much. You sound like a police boy. Hey, you sound like a police. What the man say? The commissioner talk, it have more evidence to come to justify what we all see with our own two eyes. Well, boy, I really want to see what is the evidence that it really had to come to be able to justify that, boy.
I do, because remember, the first confession with respect to that is that we have seen the tail end or the terminus of that event. And if the terminus of the event shows what we have seen and could confirm, I don't know what prior to that could convince any one of us that those persons were not unarmed, I would say, but at least in a surrendering mood, and therefore that level of violence really was not necessary.
All right, morning caller, morning. Where calling from? Welcome to the Ground Report, the #1 program in Trinidad and Tobago. What's on your front burner?
I call him from Ghana, right?
Yeah.
No, good morning. Lennox, pleasant good morning to you. Trinidad and Tobago, pleasant good morning to you all. Now, that gentleman who now speaks, right? I wasn't saying nothing, and I wasn't raising no topic on that again, But let me say something, right? The news, Trinidad and Tobago news feed. Let the people at Trinidad and Tobago know the cause for the police running down Dakar is because they had a sting operation. They were setting up a sting operation. And the gentleman who died, may his soul rest in peace, he observed an undercover police, meaning that he had a knowledge that that person was a police before that situation. So he make out the police officer and he decided to flee the scene. Right? As a result of that, the police and them give chase. So the commissioner, and they didn't say there was no shooting, they talk about no gun thing. They say that there was a sting operation, was in progress. And the gentleman make out an off-duty officer, an undercover officer, and he fled the scene. So all along the way, Andy, from what it is my knowledge of that man on the ground, it didn't have no gunplay, the man had used no gun, the man and the woman in the car, it didn't have no gunplay. So, and they still kill the man, that's what we're talking about. So if the news can tell you that, and they're talking about evidence and evidence and evidence, they say that, the news say that, they say that to Trinidad and Tobago. So why is it so hard that if the police do something wrong, first they're all right, all they're wrong, boy. We try to protect all they, but all they're wrong. They catch all they, so we had to do something about that. That's what it had to do. Because if we already had this, that's about 2 weeks ago. It had a next sting operation where they killed 2 men somewhere in Barataria or somewhere up there, if all they can remember. And they say it was a sting operation, a marketplace operation, one went wrong, and 2 men ended up losing their lives. So this is something the police developing now. When people make report, they're going and sting up, they're going and sit down and wait until you come. And when you come, if they won't hold it and you stop, they're killing you. That's what the people and them saying. So I don't know, I could be wrong. Lockdown, understand, brothers.
All right, next caller, morning caller, where you calling from? What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. It's been a while.
Morning.
Yes, it's been a while, Mr. Controversial.
Yeah. The way the program going now, it had to get in and it's more talk than phone calls and things. But anyhow, my issue is with this whole thing. The police know they're wrong, but they're trying to cover it up. Everybody's seeing that. Another thing, I, for one, am fed up of this government at the point in time. I'm fed up at the PNM government for the last time. And I'm sure people get vexed with me. If things don't change, Andy, I will not be voting again for this government. I will not be voting for the PNM government. I will seek alternative people to vote for. Because I can't understand the reasoning for attacking the independent senators where facts show that on many bills, the same independent senators supported the UNC on passing the bills. So I don't see the reason why now you choose to attack the independent senators, right? And now you come in and say 2 independent senators saying on some bribery thing, they went and asked for favors. But I see you say you're going and tell the commissioner to investigate it. I see you go and tell Integrity Commission to go and investigate it. I hear you call no names since you have the proof. You could have called the names and say these 2 senators, with it going to the Integrity Commission, it going to police for them to investigate. You're just saying something at the whiff to throw out things for people on the independent senators. But I think, as I was listening to, I don't know how true it is, Mr. Khan, who was the in the last previous government when he was Minister of Health, he's saying that the people falling into Ms. Kamala's trap, that she wants to do to become and do like what Manning was trying to do back in his days, to become an executive president. Right? So all these things have come out on social media. Right? Yeah, and I think...
Yeah, but why you always, no matter what you say, right, you have to be on the UNC, no matter what.
You know why? You know why? Because when it was on the PNM, we was on the PNM case. When it's on the UNC, you have to be on the case. We have to get them to do the correct thing, Andy. We can't just sit down and leave things to go how they're going, and we are upset. Why must we, that who voted for the UNC, right, sit down, as many people are very disgusted with the UNC right now, Andy, and you know it for yourself, Lennox knows it for yourself. Many of the same UNC people fed up at the UNC. And they keep saying we didn't vote for that because you all did not even any budget. You all stated that we are going to raise these stuff, All they come afterwards and raise all these things on the people, And when you go in the grocery, as I just always say, the grocery prices going higher. You see TCL Cement come out and send out a report now. Because of the gas raising, they're going to raise their price. They didn't say by how much yet, but they say they're sure they're going to raise their price. So not all Mr. Tanku say, oh, you want the people to absorb. The company's not going. Who in the right mind in business going to absorb all that price increase they're going to get? Nobody. They're going to raise it. If they raise it one time, they will raise it gradually. So this year they might get them a 1% increase, and they will raise it. Nothing will stay down. Imagine all these things.
What about the all right, again, I just trying to be a devil's advocate and in order to keep that balance and to sort out too. But what about the independent? I never hear attack on them independent senators when the UNC government come with very good bills such as the Children Life Fund and all them things, and they never voted for all them things. They never. When have they ever supported the UNC government? And what bill you know of?
All right. This bill that now passed, the home invasion bill, everybody supported it. They supported the bill. They support bills in past because we servers come and say, when you notice, Andy, in the past and now, anytime independent senators
do you believe they supported do you believe they supported the home invasion bill based on the many other very important bills that people could have seen playing out that have no kind of interfering with the people of Trinidad and Tobago? All they could do is help, and they vote against, abstain, and they just supported that for people to not to see them for who they are, independent, but really not independent, but PNM stooges that was placed there by a PNM president. I don't know, I'm just asking. I say I'm just trying to be a developer.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, Andy, why watch at it, right? Yes, we don't know who's independent. None of them independent. Then there we can say, well, use a PNM, use a UNC. We don't know who they vote for in the last election, right? Some of them could have voted for the PNM, some of them could have voted for the UNC. We don't know. The president put them there based on her advice or whatever when they vet them and things. She ain't going to pick up anybody and just put them there. So when they were vetted or whatever, I believe she make her choice. Yes, she is a PNM. But when her time is up, Ms. Kamala Persaud said they have to put in a new president. What are they going to say? That is a UNC president, right? Because they come under the UNC. No matter who it is, it could be an independent person.
Well, I'm not again trying to be a devil's advocate. Again, it's just for the purpose of balance. But we heard one Ms. Santa Cruz mention that she understands what you're saying there, but the difference is that the PNM put active politicians as president.
That's the mistake they make. Because they put an active person who was a member of parliament, and so we sure that is a PNM person. We sure.
Right? But the UNC never talk about the
but we're not sure that the people they put for independence people as, okay, let me say all of them resign, right? Let me say all of them say, here, well, we're not going through this. All of them resign. Who they had to put again? And she said, had to go and put back new independent, and we're going to say, that is PNM again, and she could put back PNM day. And it would be a cycle going wrong and wrong. Now, remember, this is the same people that when they bring a next bill, they go want help from, This is the same people when they bring some next bill that they would want help from,
All right, so you agree.
They're supposed to be lobbying, They're supposed to say what? Even though we think earlier it's PNM, we're supposed to say what we want this bill to pass. Look at how much amendments they wanted. Now, the Attorney General said they don't have enough time to do the amendments, right? They right now, they can't bring back that bill until July. It can't come back. So what's so hard in taking it? We say, all right, I will help all the we will come and we can't do it for the end of the month because look, they still can't do it anyway because the bill didn't pass. Here what? We go take 2 weeks or whatever. Let me try and get, or at least a month, let me try and get in the amendments for you all and bring it back because right now we still don't have nothing.
All right, so do you agree then? So even if it's a real good bill, you find that they're right because the present government calling them out, stating, well, they're not independent, or bully them, or talk to them, or whatever, And although they're seeing it's a good bill, or let me say they're saying it's a good bill, that they have the right not to vote for it because our government shouldn't have tell them something in advance, and they should have just lobbied.
They're supposed to vote on if the bill is a good bill. But I believe that not just because if you listen to their, I know you say they listen, but if you listen to their contributions, some of it was actually, they wanted the bill, you know. Some of them actually wanted and say, yes, parts of the bill were good, but they wanted amendments. And even the AG said, Mr. Arwari made a point, and he was willing to come put in the point Mr. Arwari made. He also said, I think Mr. Vera make a point that he was willing to do it. But he was only concentrating that the SOA is finishing this month, and they would not have time to put in the amendments because they had to go back to the lower house and stuff. Now, the bill didn't pass, right? We don't have the bill right now. It has no bill. The bill failed. If you would say, okay, we would consider these amendments, we will come back to you, let me say in about 2 weeks, because right now it has none. Then we take our 2 weeks and we would come back with a bill and we would propose some of the amendment. It might have passed the next time. But they ain't consider none. They didn't give no timeline. They give nothing because they wanted to rush it through. And that is not compromising. So if you don't want to put in my amendments, why am I voting for the bill? It's not making any sense. That is my thing. That is compromise. Some of them did compromising though, because as the boss, it must go this way. No, it needs a little compromise.
But like you see talk show host on this program, why are you talking so long?
I understand. All right, next caller, man, Andy, please, sir.
All right, man. Man, take up the whole program, you know.
We go for the break. And when we come back more on this edition of the Ground Report.
If you are a migrant currently living in Trinidad and Tobago without legal immigration status, this message is for you. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has introduced a special registration process for migrants who have overstayed or entered the country illegally. The online registration process will begin from Monday 26th of January and end on Wednesday 25th of February 2026. All applicants are first required to register through the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. After completing the online registration, there will be a mandatory in-person processing and verification which begins at the end of February 2026. The start date for that phase will be announced through official government channels. The in-person registration will take place at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, Port of Spain, the Atto Bolden Stadium in Balmain, Couva, and the Larry Gomes Stadium in Malabar, Arima, as well as the Dwight York Stadium, Bacalet, Scarborough, Tobago. Applicants will undergo a comprehensive verification process, which will include vetting by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service involving fingerprinting and background checks. You will also be required to undergo basic medical screening. Upon completion of the registration process, successful applicants will be required to pay $700 for the migrant registration card. The ministry reminds undocumented migrants your participation in this exercise is essential, as failure to register during this window will result in deportation. This special registration process for migrants is your opportunity to be documented, protected, and allowed to work legally in Trinidad and Tobago for a defined period. For additional instructions, along with online application and required forms, visit the official portal at migrantregistration.gov.tt. That's migrantregistration.gov.tt. This message brought to you by the Ministry of Homeland Security and the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
The largest Pan Festival is back! On Sunday, 1st February, we head to the Queen's Park Savannah for Pan on the Greens Music Festival 2026. It's our big line! We on the greens, and we live it liming from 1 p.m. till we on the greens. Over 18 soca superstars on the big stage. And it can't be a best line without big DJs. It's the biggest line in Trinidad and Tobago. Sort out your coolers. Which crew you're liming with? Who you're liming with? It's a big lime. Get your tickets now at Watford Cafe or online at iLadyTickets.com. Looking for a crew package? Send us an email. beyondthegreens@gmail.com or WhatsApp 325-7177. Pan on the Greens 2026 is a big lime. Brought to you by NCC and BH Entertainment. We lime in.
Your news anytime, anywhere. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
Are you looking to take your business to the next level? Let Talk City 91.1 FM help you reach thousands of potential customers daily. Our sales team is ready to craft the perfect advertising package just for you. Contact our sales department at 622-4141, extension 2601, 2602, 2605, and 2607, or email info@ttt.co.tt for unbeatable advertising opportunities with Talk City 91.1 FM. History in the rhythm. Issues in the spotlight. Talk City 91.1.
History in motion. From Canboulay to Carnival.
Before the feathers, before the trucks, before the glitter and the global stage, there was Canboulay. In the 1800s, newly freed Africans took to the streets at night, reenacting the burning of sugarcane fields, symbols of bondage and survival. They sang, they drummed, they danced in defiance. Authorities tried to ban it, clashes followed, but the people returned year after year, turning protest into performance. From those nights came the soul of Carnival, music from struggle, mass from memory, celebration born out of resistance. Today, when we cross the stage, we are not just playing mass, we are walking in history.
Carnival Stories. Carnival Stories. Where culture meets the road. Carnival Stories on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Pan Festival is back! On Sunday, 1st February, we head to the Queen's Park Savannah for Pan on the Greens Music Festival 2026. It's our big line! It's our big line! We on the greens! And we liming from 1 p.m. till we on the greens! Over 18 soca superstars on the big stage. And it can't be a best line without big DJs. It's the biggest line in Trinidad and Tobago. Sort out your coolers. Which crew you're liming with? Who you're liming with? It's a big lime! Get your tickets now at Watford Cafe or online at iLadyTickets.com. Looking for a crew package? Send us an email. beyondthegreens@gmail.com or WhatsApp 325-7177. Pan on the Greens 2026 is a big lime. Brought to you by NCC and BH Entertainment. We lime in.
Your news anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. New shows, new features, big giveaways. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice. Any views or opinions expressed on the Ground Report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back, we are back, we are back. Time check. Yes, it's 13 minutes to the hour to 9 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. Yours truly, the pitbull of radio, Lennox Smith, Director's Night in studio. What a busy day. But we're real people waiting for the calls and we run out of time and it have voice notes to play. So
yeah,
go
it
ahead.
appears that a minute is shorter these days.
What boy? It's real tough.
3 hours is extremely short these days. That is how I'm just observing that. But we have a call. Go ahead with the call.
Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Nigel, and to everybody out there. Andy, a minute is only about 20 seconds now, eh? Anyway, Andy, before I came on, I pray and I beg Jesus, cover my mouth so the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Andy, I cannot believe people could be so disingenuous, right? You ask him why it is that he never criticized the PNM, and he said, yes, Andy, that's not true. He came on to the Ground Report program. I don't know where he was doing it when the elections were called. And everything that the UNC campaigned on, he came and he poked it. He poked it. And never hear him talking about when Rowley went Laventille and say, weed off the government. Every road, every school, this was built by the government. Right? I never hear that. But I am hearing everything now that he's in disagreement with this government. And everybody out there could testify to that. Right? That's why they call him Mr. Controversy. Andy, if it is that she did say she talked about the demerit system, right? She did say. But she went in there, she saw where the people were still breaking the law. And I want to remind him, this is not about innocent citizens out there. These are lawbreakers that she was talking about. She raised it and she said it. Yes, I raised it. And I'm waiting to see if you all will do the right thing for me to remove it. And I want to remind him, and you're only talking here now about you will never vote for the PNM or never vote for the UNC. You have a tattoo on your forehead, right? And any government who comes in after this government, not going to remove it. They're not going to remove it. And Andy, unless Mrs. Prasad, we can assume what she's going to do when Kangaloo leave there, right? We can assume that. Yes, she's going to pick her own president, but we know for a fact that she's not going to choose a sitting MP. She's not going to do that. And that is the big mistake that PNM made. Now, he said something here that really made me have to pray to cover my mouth. You know why? Because he said, yes, the senators and them, they made adjustments, they preaching the bill and what. They got the adjustments, just like what they did with the Children's Life Fund bill. They asked for adjustments. There's a doctor there. She asked for adjustments. All the adjustments were made, and they told them that they were making the adjustment, and yet still they did not support the bill. They did not support it. And yes, they passed that other bill because they know why that other bill. Because they saw how many home invasions, how many people died with home invasions, right? And it was water more than flour. That is why they helped pass that one bill. And we are going to keep account now as to how many they are going to pass or not pass from after today. Because don't come and tell me what it is she said about them. She know their track record. And that is why she said that. She know it. Lennox, you remember when Smart, the independent senator, took a leave of absence and they brought in Junkeray. And Junkeray had to support the PNM on that bill with Daikwan. That is what they do. That is what they do. You hear? So we are going to now keep a close eye on what the independent senators are doing, because yes, they are making, even the visually impaired senator, she asked for adjustments on the bill and she never supported it. And the one who abstained, I find instead of abstaining, sir, you could have at least, right, help pass that bill. Even if one vote from the independent center, why you abstain? You didn't want them to put you up against a cross? No. Andy, let me tell you something. We are going to listen more attentively now to some of these people because we cannot have people coming here. That is why I see sometimes, Andy, you have to play the disclaimer. You have to play the disclaimer because don't come and tell me they asked for amendment, they got the amendments, and yet still they did not pass the bill. Thanks a lot, Andy. Take care.
We papa.
Andy, we have to go for a break. What? Sorry. There's a call on this side. Sorry, I've grown so accustomed. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller.
All right. Good morning again. Tabakit here.
Yes.
You hearing me?
Yes. Go ahead, caller. Yes.
Yes. Lennox and Andy and Snipes, you hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Loud and clear.
Right. Let me make this contribution. You know, in all what would have happened there, I reached to a place, and I'll tell you all. It is sad what happened in the parliament on Tuesday. I'll tell you why. It comes as the independent senators and the opposition senators vote for crime and to keep crime and lawlessness in this country. Andy, Lennox, and Snipe, let me repeat this. I don't know if people knew what happened Tuesday in the parliament. What would have happened there is as though the independent senators and the opposition is now saying yes to crime, criminality, kidnapping, murder, gang on gang, African youths killing one another in these communities. And I am saying this morning. The blood of these young African youths killing one another in these communities is on the hands of the independent senator, the opposition senator, and all those this morning who is rejoicing. This is nothing to rejoice. Give me 1 minute again, please, before you go on the break. I am saying this morning in Trinidad and Tobago, it's a sad day when we as citizens, the independent bench, and who trying to help to...
You're breaking up. Let me cut that one because you can't take our next whole minute again. Oh boy. Well, I read it online here, Mr. Controversies, and send back to Miss Santa Cruz. He said, Miss Moonsami, name one amendment they put in. All right? Name one amendment they put in. So that's how it goes there.
No, I think he was factually correct because Jeremy did say that there wasn't enough time. And the explanation that he gave, I think, is accurate. My difficulty, however, is that having regard to the significance, in my mind, is the super significance of this particular measure, and I don't think that there was an opportunity for constitutional majority with respect, of course, to that measure that they supported the children's bill. I don't think that was the case. So therefore, the government could have passed it without that special majority.
So you can't put in that.
Now that they are able now to box in the government because they have to rely on them. We see, of course, in a situation where I believe that bill is much more significant, much more. There's a greater imperative for that bill than even, in my view, the home invasion bill, because this talks about putting the government in a legal what I consider to be a trap to focus on these communities and make sure that they get what was lacking beyond the draconian, if you want to call that, measures of a cordon and other infringement to their rights, including, of course, not a state of emergency, but a curfew. Yeah, curfew. Curfew is the term, yeah, and other things, but all of the rest of things remain intact. But most important, an opportunity to really focus financially and otherwise, and bring the whole of government to impact on that community, I think that's
the opportunity to lose.
It's unpardonable.
Yeah, that's the opportunity to lose.
Cannot
Caller, you have 30 seconds. Go ahead, caller. Because it's 3 minutes in the
All right, I'm going to be very quick. First to begin, let us not, because of our incident with police shooting somebody, incomplete investigation as yet, but we want to make it like the citizens against the police or the police against the citizens. That gonna make the two wicked crowd win. So it's not that. I is for the police. I don't know about anybody else.
Andy and Lennox.
All right, thank you very much. Next caller, short and sweet.
Good. Hello?
Go ahead. You're running out of time.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, Andy. Andy Ford can have a clip on Facebook. I want you to look at it and see how Kamala outfucks the independent and the opposition bench. Andy, it's time we get rid of the PNM disciples from the PNM gospel, boy. And it's time that we have an executive president like Guyana and no independent senator and everything. They're only drawing money under false pretense. Thank you.
All right. Next.
Yeah, they get a chance to call the government
Short
to
and sweet,
ransom
caller.
and they make use of it.
Yeah, we really have 1 minute, caller.
1 minute.
Andy, Barack here.
Go ahead, Barack.
Let me edit this as short as possible for the population to understand. Just looking at the physical setup of our parliament, there could not be no independent senators, because you can be independent and sitting opposite where the government is, together with the opposition, and be independent. You're supposed to be at least sitting in our next area in the parliament. So that alone tell you what you're hearing coming from the debate that goes out from the government in passing a bill. It is coming together with the opposition voices. So the independent could never be independent, coming with the same direction towards what they're debating against. If there was in a different area, separately from the opposition, then you could have said, well, okay, they might be independent. But the physical seating alone just gave you the bias.
Thank you very much. We got the gist of it. And of course, that would have been for when the UNC was in opposition as well. So I think that argument is a bit...
Well, I'm going to close it off there quick. Trinidad
yeah,
Tobago.
Go ahead, Andy.
Coming up
go ahead,
next,
Andy, yes.
Off the records with Mr. X and Stefan. Off the record. Big program after the Gong Report. Don't forget tonight, Corridor Transformation with yours truly, Lennox Smith, at 8 o'clock. So Trinidad Tobago, until tomorrow morning, please God, same time, same place, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Talk City 91.1 FM. Yours truly, the Pitbull of Radio, on behalf of the Gong Report team. We are out of here.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
Cabinet has approved the establishment of the regulatory framework for the registration and management of classic and vintage vehicles in Trinidad and Tobago.
Music. Culture.
We are now in a state where I can now proudly announce that our gas production will increase by a significant amount, given all the various projects that are now expected to come online.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk